Well, hey there, Darlene. How are you? How are you doing? Thank you for joining me this evening. Hello there, Lectro. Lectro. Hey there. Kay Baker, how are you? How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. Hey, Ernestine, how are you? How are you doing? You home already? Hey there, Davy, how are you? How are you guys doing? Welcome this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, Rory and Will, how are you doing, King? Hey there, Dawn and Christine and Misha and African Queen. Brenda, how are you? Oh, thank you so much. Hi, Alfreda. Alfreda. Hey, the power of she. Hey, Arlene. Hey, beautiful. How are you? Hey, Wendy. CB Makeup. Oh, I love makeup. Make sure you I'm glad you're here too. Make sure you send me your YouTube channel. I want to see you do makeup. Hey, Jesus, Betty girl, I have a gift for you. Someone has paid for you to be on my live, and I want you to contact me via hey Tamarind, Jesus Betty girl, Miss Betty. I want you to email me if you can and send me your telephone number because someone has paid for you to make sure that you will be on Zoom. Someone gifted well, they gifted someone with a ticket, and I want to gift you with that ticket so that you can be on Zoom Live. I just have to make sure that you get someone to help you get onto Zoom. I don't know if you were on Zoom last time when Apostle Sadler did her Zoom. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Debiza. But I want to make sure that you contact me so that we can make sure that you get onto Zoom for the 31st of July. Hello from Aloha from Honolulu. My daughter just went to go visit her family and visit her dad and her family over in Honolulu. Hey, Giselle, how are you? You are so welcome. Make sure, Miss Betty, that you contact me, email, make sure I get your phone number so I can call you so that we can make sure that you get onto Zoom for July 31st so you can be at the conference. Someone has blessed you with a ticket. They made sure they wanted me to give someone a ticket, and I wanted to make sure that you get a ticket so that you can be on. Hey, Miss Chat. Hey, Christy, that you will be on there. Okay, so make sure you email me, Dr. Carmen Bryant. I don't know if you look. I'm trying to think. If you just send me an email, I don't know if you have my email or not, but I want to make sure that I get your information so I can contact you. Okay, somehow or another, we'll get in contact with each other. Okay, I'm gonna make sure when you see the moderators come up, I'm gonna have Miss Chat. Can you put my email address on there for Miss Betty Girl, Miss Jesus Betty Girl, so that if you can just hit like respond to her comment and put my email on there. And Miss Chat, I know you want to bring a group with your pretty family. You haven't said anything yet. You gotta let me know if you bring in a group so I know. Okay. Hi, Bruce. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Hey, as Christiana, hello there. How are you? Hey, Cynthia, you are so welcome. Let's see. Can you put your email so I can copy it and get? Okay. Hey, Miss Chat, look under Miss Jesus Girl Betty, or Just Be Real. Just Be Real's there. Just Be Real. You and Miss Chat, just a couple of times, just respond to Jesus Girl Betty and put my email address on there. And then Miss Jesus Girl Betty, my two moderators are going to put the email address. And so when you get it, there it goes. Yeah, just put it, just respond to Jesus Girl Betty. Just respond under her name so she can see it so that you can make sure that she gets it, okay? Oh, she goes every year, Cluster B Free, Miss Karen. She goes every year. Every year she goes. She didn't go last year, but she didn't go last year because of the pandemic, but she goes every year to Hawaii to visit her family. So her other family, her father and his family. You are so welcome. Yeah, just put it on Miss Jesus Girl Betty. Just let them know when you have the email, okay? And when you have the email, say I got it, so they'll know, okay? Hello, everybody. Is that Visa Vegas? How are you? When she rise. That's what I'm talking about. Undeveloped wasteland. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Oh, y'all's looking forward to me greeting you. I like talking to y'all before I start talking. I think I mean, you guys take your time. I'm gonna come to Hawaii too. I came to visit a couple of times, but I want to do a conference in Hawaii as well. So I would love for you guys to come over to Hawaii because we can go to a luau instead of us, going out to dinner that evening. Hey, and Miss Karen, since you are there, maybe we can coordinate something. Next year I'm going to Atlanta, but Miss Karen, since you're there, even if I add another place in there, Miss Karen, maybe I can coordinate with you to get to Hawaii to do a conference there. I would love to go there and do a conference because instead of us going out to eat in the evening, we can just go to the luau over there. The big luau that they have for guests and travelers. So maybe we can connect and we can do something. Hey, Miss Deborah. And thank you so much for saying you like when I come and greet you guys. I love greeting you guys. I like saying hello before I get started. I mean, you guys take your time out of your busy day to make sure that you come on and listen to me. So do I need to invite to Clubhouse? I have an iPad now. Yes, ma'am, you do need an invite to Clubhouse. I'm trying to think how to get you one. I can't get you one while I'm on live right now. But Miss Arlene, I have your email, but I don't have your number. Miss Chat, are you on? Miss Chat, are you finally on Clubhouse? Miss Chat, are you finally on Clubhouse? Well, Miss Karen, I'm gonna make sure I coordinate with you. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna do it like right now because next year I'm going to Atlanta. So I'll be in Atlanta for those of you that want to go to Atlanta with me, and then when we go to Hawaii. Maybe we can do a cruise and go over there and do a conference or something, but we'll think of something. I'll think of something. Well, I'm so glad that you guys are here for my live. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. You at home? Okay. The chat, you got the invite. Okay, so you're in Clubhouse. That's right, you are in Clubhouse. I saw you. Never mind. Hey, Miss Danielle, how are you? Yeah, I heard you can use Android now. Yeah. Well, all right, you guys. I said all the salutation. Let me get the people started on Clubhouse, okay? Let me get everybody in on Clubhouse. And you guys know on Clubhouse, I have the conference flyer on there. So now you'll see the conference. Hey, Sharima, you'll see the conference flyer. Hello there. Nina, how are you doing? Ruth Razor? How are you guys doing? So I'm just waiting for a few more people to come into Clubhouse and then I'll go. You need an invite for Clubhouse? Channel has my email, possibly has my cell. You need an invite? Miss Karen, y'all think you already on there? Miss Karen, I thought you were already on there. I like that, Wendy. Thank you so much. No peace of mind. What do you think? Well, I'm not answering questions right now because I'm going to go into my I'm going to go into my program. So I'm going to go into what I'm going to talk about. Thank you so much, so much. I appreciate you guys. Can't wait for Atlanta. I can't wait to come to Hotlanta either. I can't wait to come there too. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, you guys. Well, Miss Sharima. Hi, Anissa. How are you, ma'am? Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to give just a few more minutes to get a couple more people into Clubhouse before I start, okay? I'm doing great, Sharima. How are you? Oh, you on both of them. Jesus Girl Betty, did you get the email? Yeah, they did. They did. Let me see. Dang, I can't scroll on here. They did put the email. You guys just keep putting the email up there till she gets it. You can, like, if you go up to her name, is Jesus Girl Betty, and you just click on her name and respond to her, I think it'll show up where you can see it. I think you'll see it. So, all right. Wait, Miss Danielle, she's over there too. Well, thank you so much, Miss Arlene. Yeah, Miss Jesus Girl Betty, when you see it, because Miss Arlene, you see Miss Chat, you'll see Just Be Real. You got it? You got it, Miss Betty? Did you get the email? So make sure she get the email, then I'll start talking. I know, cruise would be nice, huh? You guys have to make sure you bring some of that Dramamine. So if those of you guys that get seasick, So you won't be thrown up everywhere when you get on the cruise ship. Okay, that'd be great, Sharima. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll talk about the conference as soon as I get done talking. As soon as I get done talking, we'll talk about it. Hey, is it Tanshawn? Hi, Tanshawn. How are you? How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Hope everybody is doing great. All right, well, let's get started then. So my topic is the narcissist's need for supply and fuel. Hey, Stevie Bananas, I hadn't seen you in a long time. Where you been? I haven't seen you in like 500 years. How you doing? Hey, Uniquely Made, I hope you coming to the conference, at least online. Hey, Stevie, I hadn't seen you in a long time. I know Stevie's back, y'all. I hadn't seen Stevie in a hot minute. All right, well, let's get started. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to get started? Y'all say y'all ready. If you're ready, I'm ready. Hawaii's on your bucket list? Well, shoot, we need to go ahead and do it. We need to do it because after the you work, you have a thank. Okay, she got it. She got it, you guys. Thank you so much. Just Be Real and Miss Chat. Miss Betty said that she got it now. Thank you so much. We love you too. We miss you. Hey, Nicolette, how are you? Hey, Rachel, how are you? Ready? Okay, you guys ready? All right. So we're going to be talking about the narcissist's need for supply and fuel. Okay, so I'm revisiting the topic, and the reason why I'm revisiting the topic is I got over 400 videos on there. And a lot of times, you may go looking for something, but then you'll just scroll and you're scrolling and looking for particular topics. You might get kind of lost. So sometimes I come back and revisit. And as long as there's narcissists around, we'll always have a topic. I can revisit it as many times as I want to. Is it going to apply? It's going to apply to your current situation. And I probably have some new knowledge and new revelation that I can give you in reference to the fuel and supply for a narcissist. And then, of course, we have a lot of new people. So to my new people, allow me to introduce myself. A lot of you guys are familiar with me. I am Dr. Cardinal Bryant. I am a licensed mental health counselor here in the state of Washington. I am also a certified clinical trauma professional. Now, for most therapists, when they go to school, they're learning how to treat the disorder, or they're, hi, Kim, and they're learning how to treat, a dysfunction, a disorder. So they usually focus on the person that has the, the disorder. Well, I am a advocate for helping those that have been in domestic violence, and specifically, hi, Miss Ina, hi, Miss Betty. But I specifically focus on victims and survivors of narcissist abuse. So I do talk about domestic violence, but this particular domestic violence that I talk about concerns those that have been abused by individuals that have narcissistic personality disorder. Now, some people don't have narcissistic personality disorder. They're just very toxic. They're very toxic. And I always say the same thing. Most people, they want to know, does this person have narcissistic personality disorder? And I always say the same thing. It doesn't matter whether they do or don't have narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. The question becomes is, how are they treating you? How are they treating you? How are they handling you? Because you deserve respect. You deserve love. And if they are misusing you or abusing you, you need to get out of the situation. Stop giving them so many chances, because you're training them on what you will exist and what you what you will accept and what you will not accept. And every time you allow them to abuse you or misuse you, you are letting them know. You're training them. You're telling them what is okay and what is not okay. Hey, Just Be Real, can you do me a favor? Can you go over to Clubhouse and let me know if my earrings are banging against the speakers, if they're against the earbuds, because I feel like they're hitting it and it's making a lot of noise, and I don't want a whole bunch of noise in my earphones. So if you could just let me know if my earrings are making too much noise while I'm talking on Clubhouse. But yes, so the thing about it is this. So you guys understand that narcissists survive off of fuel. They have to have supply. Thank you so much, Calaboy. But they survive off of fuel. They survive off of fuel. Now, I'm going to say this, and this is the most painful thing that many of us have to, thank you. Many of us have to understand, and this is the most heartbreaking situation for many of us, because of the fact that you truly love that narcissist. This may have been the first time that you love somebody like this, and that person never loved you back the way that you should be loved. Love is not a feeling. Love is not an emotion. It is a choice. You choose to do right by someone. You choose to treat them, honor them and respect them. You guys, excuse me. I'm trying to get my lighting right. And I should have did this before I came on, so I apologize. I don't want to interrupt myself while I'm talking. But a narcissist has a need for fuel. So the hardest thing to have to come to terms with is the fact that this individual never loved you the way that you love. This individual does not have the capacity to love you or your children the way you deserve to be loved. They don't love, they have a need. There's a difference between love and a need. You guys give me just a second. I apologize. Okay. They don't love. They don't have empathy and compassion like you do. They have cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy means that they understand how emotions work. And so they know how to manipulate you in order to provoke those emotions or those reactions from you. But they themselves do not feel empathy and compassion like you feel empathy and compassion. Most of what they feel is anger, rage, jealousy, anything that's a negative emotion, that is what they feel. When you talk about supply, for example, you have to understand how they see people. They may not visually see people like this, but this is the best description. And I heard someone else use it, but this is the best description at describing supply. Thank you so much, Uniquely Made. She said it in Spanish. Go ahead, girl. But the way that a narcissist sees people, they always see people as to what a person or what someone can do for them. They look at supply. Imagine if you have a car. I just recently had to buy another car because my car was damaged. It was road work. There was building and my car was damaged. So yes, I cried because that car was paid off. I really loved that car. I cried for a minute. I said, I can't believe my car. Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? So I booed like a baby. I did. I called the insurance company. They got me a rental car and they paid me for the damage of my car. They totaled the car out. I had to take it to a wrecking yard and they totaled the car out. So, my little feelings were hurt. And they gave me a check. But when I saw that check, I realized, dang, I can go get me another car. So once I got me another car, I was fine. Okay. So thank you, Seldridge. But the thing about it is that, I thought about the car. And then after I got rid of the car, I got a new car. I was like, oh, look at all these new buttons, So it was a new car. And then I forgot about the other car. I said, it did me well. It served me well. I had that car since 2012. It was a Camaro. I had that car since 2012. I cried because I can't believe my car's tore up. They sent me a check. That check was a nice check. And I took that check and went and bought me another car that's upgraded. It's 2018. And so I said, dang, this car is better than the last car. And because I'm so tall, my car sat so low, this car sits up higher and it's got all the amenities I wanted. Leather interior, sunroof, the rear, the camera in the back. So I let the other car go. It didn't bother me. I'm over it, right? Well, that's how a narcissist sees people as supply. The people that when they pursue supply, that's how they see you. When they have this new shiny bright leather smelling car, and when you have served your turn, when they get tired, you don't have that new leather smell anymore, so they go look for another shiny toy, or they go look for another car. The car serves a purpose. It gets you from point A to point B, takes you on vacation, transport stuff, and that's how they see people. You serve a purpose. You provide me with what I need and how I need what I need. And then when I'm tired of you, because they grow bored very easily, you start losing that new smell, leather smell. I need to go find something else to cause my adrenaline to start pumping, to get my emotions all pumping, whatever emotions they have, but the emotions pumping. So I need to go find me a new leather smell. And so the thing about it is that with a look at it like this. So here you are, this new shiny toy, this car, this leather smell. They grow bored. You lose your leather smell. They go find another good smelling leather. So you have to think about it when you first got your brand new car. Say you just got a new car, you got a brand new car, and you were just so excited. You kept looking at it, you washed it, you cleaned it. Oh, you were so excited. And eventually that excitement died down a little bit, and then you had a car and, the excitement was kind of gone. Well, with a narcissist, it's the same way. whenever they get a new supply, it becomes that new shiny toy, that new car, that new leather smell, and they're excited about it. And eventually they stop washing it and cleaning it and stop caring for it like they used to. And then they need to go get another suit, leather smelling, brand new leather smelling car. That's how they see supply. You serve a purpose. Now, there are three types of supply. There's primary supply, there's secondary supply, and there's tertiary supply. I finally got that right. The first video, man, I tore that word up. Tertiary, but it's tertiary, right? So I'm going to start from the third, then I go to the second, then I go to the first. So tertiary, and I heard another vlogger describe it. It was just so eloquently said, and it makes so much sense. So I'm going to take pieces and parts of what they said. So tertiary supply is when, for example, they get into a taxi cab, and the taxi cab, you know, they're nice. The taxi cab driver is nice to them. They may compliment them or something like that, you know. So they're getting some positive fuel. They go into a coffee shop. The cashier is really nice, and so they're getting fuel from that cashier. They go into a restaurant. Say they're in a restaurant with their son or their daughter, and the son or daughter may have graduated from college, so they're bragging and telling everybody, you know, my baby just graduated from college, my baby this, my baby that. And so that energy and those eyes that narcissist gets, that's that fuel that they're getting from tertiary supply, because they look at the child as, you know, when they're getting attention, it makes me look like a good parent. It gives me kudos. People are looking at me and they're giving me compliments. Oh my gosh, I know you must be a proud parent. I am. That's my baby. You know, so they're getting attention from that tertiary supply. Tertiary supply is not the type of supply that they're going to pursue for permanence or a long time, you know, for primary. They're never going to take a tertiary supply and make them a permanent, not a permanent, but a primary supply. You may have other ones, like if that's that positive fuel that they're getting. You may have other fuel that they get. For example, if, like, say they run a red light and someone is upset and they flick them off, or they cuss them out, they go off on them. So they may be not getting positive fuel, they're getting that negative fuel, that negative energy, but it's still that energy, that fuel that they're getting from these types of supply. So now you have secondary supply. Secondary supply, oftentimes people look at it as the side chick or the side dude. Well, normally the secondary supply is more than one secondary supply. It sounds like it's one person, but it's usually more than one person. That's a secondary supply. And if you have a narcissist or have been with a narcissist that is also what we call it, a narcissist that is also a somatic, a narcissist that is into looks, that is into a lot of women or a lot of men, you know, and their let's see, their reputation is wrapped around how many women they can get or how many men that they can pull, you know. That's that secondary supply. So these are the ones that are always going to have, you know, someone shelved. They're going to have someone shelved somewhere until they come back. It may be an ex-girlfriend. It may be an ex-lover. It may be a new person. It may be someone that they're pursuing. So you have all these secondary supplies that are potentials. They're potential primaries, but they're potentials. And so they may be sleeping with them. They may be hoovering them. They may be love bombing them. So you got all this going on. You got to remember they need fuel. To cut fuel off from a narcissist can actually cause a narcissist to lose their mind, have psychotic episodes, lose their mind, depressed. They become suicidal because they have to have negative or positive fuel from some type of supply. And that secondary supply, they have all these secondary supplies, you know, and a lot of times not just one, secondary supplies. Now, for example, now, not all, believe it or not all narcissists cheat. Okay, we do, I'm sorry. So this person was trying to type some stuff in here, and they were doing it in increments. So they were, I don't know what they were going to put, but they're blocked. So don't worry about it. I got them. Yeah, that was very disrespectful, but that's cool. She's blocked. Anyway, but so with secondary supply, you have to remember that they will put out all this energy and all this fuel to pull them Well, where do you think they're getting fuel from? They're getting it from other sources of supply. Now, you do have, believe it or not all narcissists cheat. Sounds strange, but not all of them have affairs or cheat. You have to think of those people that are in positions like within the church. You have the pastors and bishops, or you have people, in positions where that is a part of the reputation that they have to maintain, is they have to be, loyal, or they cannot cheat. So you may have people over congregations, over ministries, or religious organizations, where they may not physically have an affair, but they see the congregation, or the members as sources of supply. So they get plenty of fuel from people that are hurting, people that are hurting, people are looking for answers, people that are wide open, because what do? They trust the person that's in leadership. And so trusting the person that is in leadership, they end up telling a lot of their business. So when they're pouring out and telling their heart to this individual has a lot of fuel from that individual, because that individual is looking at them as a god, as the answer. When you have a person that's in leadership, when you're in leadership, you have to be very, very careful, because people are looking at you for answers. They're looking at you, in a position of power. And so people that are in position of power, even therapists, have to be very careful at how they use that power, so they don't misuse it and abuse people. And so if you don't know the answer, you tell people you don't know the answer. Well, a narcissist will never be able to do that. And so they pull people to them instead of pushing people to God, teach them how to worship, or whatever your belief system is. They pull them to themselves, and they want to be the one that you come to about everything. They want to be the ones that you come to for all the answers. You don't go to anybody else. It's just me. That people that are in those type of organizations will pull people to them and push them away from other people. It's almost like being in a cult. So a lot of them don't physically have affairs or cheat, but they pull these people to them, and they have power and control over them, over their money, over their households, to a point where you have wives that are listening to the pastor over listening to their husbands, or you have husbands that are listening to the pastor, where they're neglecting the wife and putting all their money into something where the family is not being supported. Anything can happen. So they pull them to themselves. So that's another sense. That's secondary supply. Secondary supply becomes the whole congregation. You manipulate, and if you can't go visit no other church or no other religious organization. I'm the only one that can interpret this for you. You shouldn't be listening to anybody else. They're still isolating you, right? Okay, now let's go to the primary. Now keep secondary in mind, but the primary source of supply. So you have narcissists, and cerebral narcissists. I meant to go back to that. Cerebral narcissists, they get their fuel from intellect. So they're going to be around people that are intellectual and feeds them intellectually. They're going to be around, they're going to find sources of supply that can make that they feel like are at my level. If you're not at my level of intelligence, of your power and position, then you are irrelevant to me, because you're not as smart as I am. When cerebral narcissists are really not into sex as much as somatic narcissists. Cerebral narcissists understand the power. Now, cerebral narcissists understand the power of sex to pull you and lock you in, but they're not interested in sex that way. As opposed to a somatic narcissist. A somatic narcissist will use sex to change your mind, to change your emotions, to change your mind, right? And okay, but so cerebral narcissists pull them with sex to lock them in. Somatic narcissists use sex to change your mind. Hold on just a minute. All right, but they use sex to change your mind, to change your emotions, to manipulate you into doing something that you would not normally do. So that is the power of sex, right? So now you have the primary source of supply. The primary source of supply is the one that they put a lot of their energy in to pull them, to lock them in. The primary source of supply is usually the one that provides them with the highest level of fuel. Not only do they provide them with the highest level of fuel, they're the ones that are usually so broken and so wounded and so hurt that this narcissist has really psychologically abused them, manipulated them, sometimes physically abused, a lot of times physically abused them. But they have gone through so much and their pain tolerance is so high that narcissist knows I can do whatever I want to. That's primary source of supply is not leaving. And what they do to figure out whether or not you are a good source of supply as a primary supply is they test you to see how much pain you can tolerate. And as much pain as you can tolerate, and the more they do to see how high your pain tolerance is how they lock you in and say, I'm going to keep this one because this one is capable of handling the amount of pain I'm going to inflict. They train you and you train them at what you're going to accept and what is acceptable. Usually what happens is the average person can't handle that much. So the first few times you do something to hurt someone at that level, that's why narcissists don't always get the person that they're getting. But they'll put the testers out there, the feelers out there. And some of you guys are like, oh, no, I'm not going to do all that. You have to find somebody else. Or, there's some, they don't get all their supply. Oh, no, we're not going to do all that. First time is shame on you. The second time is shame on me. So I'm done with this. So they don't get all the supply that they see. But that primary supply, normally a primary supply that is locked in with a narcissist is one that has probably gone through some things in their life themselves, and they have not totally cleared their heart. There's still residue in their heart. I don't care how powerful you are. I don't care if you're a six-figure woman. I don't care if you own a whole island that's named after you. If that narcissist can find that, if that narcissist can find that one thing that you never closed and cleaned up, that narcissist knows how to test you to find that one thing in there. And they'll take that and work that one thing to pull you in, And that primary source supply, the pain tolerance is so high that they can tolerate and that's why many of you were in it for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I think along with 50 some odd years, because your pain tolerance is so high, they trained you like that. And you are normally the one, whether male or female, that primary source supply is normally the one that provides them the facade that they need. The house provides you with children, a car, a sense of normalcy. So when they're when they're discovered outside, they come and hide, and you're going to protect them. That primary source supply will protect them at all costs. The primary supply is also that as a flying monkey and will protect them at all costs, even to a point where sometimes the children are abused because that primary source supply is so codependent on that narcissist and is so wrapped up that they live almost in their head. They live this alternate reality. It's hard to believe that this person can do what they do or are doing what they are doing. And so that primary supply, most people want to be the primary supply. The primary supply is the most abused supply. Now check this out. In order to get that primary supply, a lot of times what they do is they put a lot of energy and money and time. Now keep in mind, you're talking about a narcissist, an individual that requires fuel, has to have fuel, right? So how is it they expend so much fuel in pulling someone in? Number one, they're always going to have secondary sources of supply to pull reserve fuel. So when they put all that energy into you, they spend all that money to make sure they wine and dine you. They buy you expensive gifts. They buy you dinners that you can't even pronounce. You can't even pronounce the food that you eat. And they take you to places you ain't never seen on a map. They'll take you to Mars or Pluto. They'll take you to the sun and promise you the sun. And I'm going to buy the moon just for you and name the moon after you. Just future faking and lying. But they did all this for you. But you have to remember that when they're doing that, what they're doing, they're in their mind, there's a checklist. Because everything that I do, the amount of money that I spend on you, the food that I buy for you, the trips that I take you on, you owe me. And you are going to pay me back for the rest of the time that you're ever with me, the rest of your life. They will get back. So whatever they do for you, they're going to get it back. But that much fuel, and especially if it's hard to get you, The harder it is to pull you in, the more they're going to punish you when they finally get you. Oh, you're going to get it. The more they're going to punish you because you caused me to expend too much fuel. And in between the time that they are trying to pull you in and love bomb you, the mask has slipped a couple of times. But the thing about it is you didn't catch it. Sometimes you caught it, but you dismissed it. So the more you override an alert system, think about this for a minute. I remember the apartment I was in before I moved over here. The apartment complex is responsible for the maintenance of the apartments. And so anytime the battery goes low on the, you remember the little fire detector that's up in your wall? Anytime the battery goes down in it, there's I think every so many months, every quarter or something like that, they have this main system in the house where they do an alert test. So all the fire alarms and all the smoke detectors, not the smoke detectors, but the fire alarms inside the apartments go off. And they'll let you know that we're going to test it to make sure that the fire alarms work for the fire department. So in the middle of the night, your fire alarm may come on and just beep, right? But then up at the top, what they come in and they do inspections. So every quarter or something like that, they come in and change the batteries for you up there. So during the pandemic, there was no one to come in and change the battery. And I didn't have a stepping stool to go up there. I wasn't the maintenance guy. So, I mean, in my house, I'll do it, but I'm the maintenance guy. So I ain't ready to step up there and go change no battery and mess around and hurt myself, right? So, but that detector keeps going off, beep, beep. And most of you guys have had it in your house. The detector goes off. You done got so accustomed to it, you don't even realize the detector goes off anymore because you done got so used to it that you don't realize that it's going off. Sometimes I didn't realize it was going off until I was on the camera and someone was like, oh my gosh, I thought the detector went off, and I ran and checked my battery and it was actually on my film. So I didn't even know until I was listening to my own video to do the editing and realized that the detector was going off. But think about it. You want to let this alert system, you don't overrode this alert system so much that if it would have went off, now if it would have went off, made a lot of noise, but if it would have off, you had gotten so complacent that you wouldn't even realize that the smoke detector, it would not have been an alert to you. You've been kind of nonchalant about it, and the whole living room could have been on fire. You know what I mean? And so just like with you guys, that narcissist with that primary supply, and when they're pulling that primary supply, when they're love bombing, when they're taking you, whining and dining you, got your emotions everywhere, the mask done fell off. But they have groomed you enough, or you have had enough experience in your life where that internal alert system, you keep ignoring it. So every time their mask will slip, you catch it in your shanana, or inside of you, or your conscience is letting you know something ain't right. No, that's just me because I done been. Now you justifying your alert system. No, that's just me. You know, I have been hurt, you know, so when I see a good man or a good woman, you know, sometimes I will mistreat them, and I just need to give this a chance. When you start justifying like that, you are now overriding your alert system. And when you override your alert system, you might want to step back now and say, why am I justifying this? Why am I justifying that behavior? When they do something or they crack a joke and you're like, that was kind of, that was kind of sarcastic, or that was kind of mean. Girl, you can't take no joke. Boy, I was just playing with you. You so sensitive. You need to stop being so sensitive. When you start hearing that terminology, or when you start like, yeah, you're probably right because I've been on edge and I've been in really bad relationships. Now you're explaining too. So you're giving them information. Now you're feeding them information. Do you see how you're feeding them information? And now you're building the platform for them so they can figure out what role to play in your life. But you're justifying in your mind like, well, you know what? I need to give it a chance. I need to try this one more time. When you start doing that, you need to pump the brakes because yes, your intuition doesn't lie. So when you need to pump the brakes, because now you're justifying the behavior. And see, the mask is slipping. You're just not catching it. You're overriding it. No, I'm going to give this a chance because this feels so good. See how you're talking to yourself? No, this feels good. I'm not going to, and then they notice that you pull back a little bit. Why are you acting like that? I know you've been hurt before, but I'm not going to do you like, I'm not like the others. Remember Michael Jackson, the Thriller? I'm different. I'm not like the others. I'm different. They are. They're telling you, yeah, what you will allow will continue. Absolutely. And this is a man telling you guys that. But every time you go in to justify, no, I need to give it a chance. No, this feels good. No, I'm not going to mess this up. No, I'm going to just give it a chance and see how far it goes. When you start having self-talk like that, you need to pull out because you're overriding your alert system. Your alert system is working quite well, but you you're hitting the override button. And so by the time you done got into this relationship, then you realize I done made a mistake. I don't even know how to get out of this anymore. You see what I mean? So that's your primary supply. And that's that secondary supply. That secondary supply. Because they have to have some reserve fuel as they're pulling onto that primary. And when they're love bombing you like that, they're going to the secondary supply to pull fuel because they need some reserve. Where you think they're getting that fuel from? There's somebody in the back. Don't think they're all by themselves. And when they start telling you about how awful this last relationship was, listen to what they're saying, y'all. Listen to what they're saying, and you'll realize that they're pulling on you. And if they're really, really investing in you, listen. If they are really investing in you, they're trying to make you the primary. They're trying to make you the primary. There is a primary in the picture already. Always remember that. So now you guys understand when it comes to a narcissist, there is no such thing as a relationship. It's a situationship. There is no such. It doesn't matter how long they've been with you. They done built a house with you. You guys got property together. It's gonna lock you in. You see what I mean? It's gonna lock you in. It's not that easy for you to jump up and leave. Primary supplies have a hard time leaving because of the amount of time, energy, your life you have invested. But they knew what they were doing in the very beginning. Everything that they do is strategic. Don't ever think a narcissist don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. I'm telling you, they know exactly what they're doing. So if you guys will give me about 10 minutes to answer some questions, just be real. Give me about 10 minutes to answer some questions, and then I'm gonna go over to Clubhouse and I'm gonna talk to them for a few minutes so I can get off. My baby girl is gone for the summertime. So of course, you know, she left mama to do some cleaning up behind her. So I got some work I got to do, some things I got to put some shelves together for and everything. I ain't gonna do it all tonight because I'm tired. I had a long week. And then Saturday I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't get to bed till 12. And I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to take her to the airport and sit at the airport with her. So I am sleepy. So I appreciate you guys. So if you got any questions, give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, moderators, and then I'm going to switch over to Clubhouse for a few minutes. And then before I get off, I'm just going to tell you guys about the conference. So just let me answer some questions for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to tell you guys about the conference, and then I'm going to switch over here to Clubhouse, okay? How to deal with co-parenting with a narcissist. I feel like a struggle. If you go look, I have a video on co-parenting versus counter-parenting, and I have another one I did. It was co-parenting. It was parallel parenting. That one will give you a lot of answers. Parallel parenting. So parenting and co-parenting with a narcissist, parallel parenting. Go check out my video on that. That'll give you a lot of explanation because that's a whole video in itself. Thank you, Ms. Rigger. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I haven't heard from you in a long time. You need to book another appointment so I can find out what's going on in your life. Seems like things are pretty quiet, so I'm not sure. But let me know. I want to make sure you're doing okay. Thank you so much, Kiko. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kiko. I appreciate you. Let's see. Glad I made it up tonight. Miss you. I would miss you too. I know you won't be working on Sundays like that, but if you are, you go ahead and make your dividends. Make your dividends. How to deal with narcs co-workers. I think I got a video on that as well. That's a whole nother video too. That's a whole nother video too. Is it true a narcissist can be cured after 2 years of therapy? Girl, no. I mean, well, I don't know if you're pumpkin spice pimping. Okay, I don't know if you're a girl or a guy, so I appreciate it. No, they can't. No, they cannot be cured. No, it's a personality disorder. No, don't believe that. People telling you that, don't believe that. Don't believe that. Positive stuff? Yeah. I need to hear this, Ms. Rigger. I need to talk to you. I need to find out. Thank you so much, Ms. Roxanne. Thank you, Uniquely Made. Uniquely Made, you're gonna sign up for the conference, right? Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking for questions. Sorry. Just brought my conference. Yeah, I saw that, Miss Valerie. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. You get to come hang out with me. Thank you, Miss Valerie. I meant to tell. I was going to read the names off here. Thank you, Miss Valerie. I saw that today. Thank you so much. I'll be calling you, okay? Let's see. I'm at 10 minutes already. Can the narc get fuel from the family and use that for you since they're stay-at-home mom with their siblings and mom around them? Can they get fuel from the family and use that for you? They don't use fuel for you. They pull fuel from you. And they may pull fuel from their family, but they're never going to pull fuel. I mean, that kind of defeat the purpose of being a narcissist. In that case, we'll go and glean some fields and bring the wheat back in for all of us. Narcissists do not pull fuel to bring fuel back to you. They pull fuel for themselves to refill themselves. If you are the primary, they're not pulling any fuel to give you anything. They're going to strip you. They need fuel, so they strip you of fuel. They drain the life of, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Let's see. So adult children staying with narc, what does separated mom do? I don't know. I need to know more about your story. My daughter keeps running into narcissists. What is her problem? She needs to demagnetize. She needs to demagnetize. She's running to what she's familiar with. Is there such thing as being too sensitive? Empaths are hypersensitive. Empaths are hypersensitive. Not everybody that's hypersensitive or super sensitive is an empath, though. You know, empaths are very unique, but empaths are highly sensitive, highly intuitive individuals, and they're hypersensitive. Hypersensitive. These type of people, they want to help everybody. They absorb everybody's feelings and emotions, and they want to go and help everybody. So that is very sensitive, and they have to learn to manage that because a narcissist loves empaths because there's so much fuel they can get because that empath is always trying to fix and help everybody. So that's a lot of fuel that they get from an empath. So yes, it's very highly sensitive, and they have to learn to manage that. Let's see. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, let's see. All right, now give me questions. All right, because if I don't have any more questions, I'm gonna switch over to Clubhouse. Can a narc pull fuel from a narcissist parent? Oh yeah, they pull fuel from each other. Oh yeah, that's a hot mess because they're pulling fuel from each other. So imagine two narcissists that get together in a relationship. They think that they're in love, and it's so empowering and so, I mean, it's exotic. I mean, just climatic because they're pulling fuel from each other. So they're feeding each other fuel and they're pulling fuel from each other. But yeah, a narcissist can pull fuel from a narcissistic parent. Absolutely, because they're doing it to each other. Yeah, they're doing it to each other. Let's see. Do you think being raised by older parents can cause a person to be an empath? No. Empaths are normally created. Empaths are created just like a narcissist is created. Well, narcissistic personality disorder develops from trauma within the developmental years of their life. And people say, well, they were the golden child and they were, looked at as the golden child, but you don't know how damaging that is to a child to be a golden child. An empath, likewise, an empath has been severely wounded somewhere in their developmental years where they become hypersensitive. They become so overly sensitive and hypersensitive. And empath is not a spiritual thing. Empath is a chemical thing. And empaths are developed, they become hypersensitive because the extreme pain that they have been is like your nerves are just out there. Your feelers are just out there. There are empaths that I have spoke to, like the super empaths that I know. you know, where they or some of the empaths that I've talked to, they can hear words linger in the air after you leave the room. They can, some of them, where you heard of sensory processing disorders, that's where you get like autism from. Sensory processing disorders. Well, they don't have sensory processing disorders, but you know, in their sensories, they're hypersensitive. Like autistic children are hypersensitive to stimulants, and they don't know how to control that. They don't know how to regulate. Where an empath, you know, they do have sensory. Some of them can taste colors. Some of them can see like sounds, music sounds. Some of them can feel, well, most of you guys as empath, you can feel the energy on people. You can literally feel that energy, if the energy is low or if the energy is high. A lot of you can go into a room and you can sense the energy, like someone has just been talking about you, or you can actually hear the words in the air. That's why a lot of you guys get so drained being around people. You want to help people, help people, help people, but being around people and people that are hurting and you can sense their pain and you want to fix it, it just drains you to a point where most of you guys love, you see in colors. But some of you guys get so drained from this energy that people are releasing with their pain and their hurt, and you want to fix them, that most of you guys love nature. You love nature. You like quiet places. You like your own peace and quiet, even though you may be people persons. But you become so overwhelmed and so drained because you're so sensitive that you just want to get away to nature. You like the sound of water. You like the beauty of nature. You like your peace and quiet because it's overwhelming to you. Do empaths get worse or narcissists get worse? Narcissists get worse. Empaths, if you have the right people to train them and help them, they will learn how not to absorb everything. They learn to absorb, you know, they learn not to absorb everything. They know how to put up boundaries. That's how the super empath develops, because they know not, you know, they know they can't absorb everything. They have certain boundaries. They're still sensitive. They have certain boundaries, but they know not to go too far. That's why the only person that can handle a super empath is a greater narcissist. And a greater narcissist, a super empath, you know, can do some serious damage, because when if they ever, and that's something that they don't want to do, a super empath does not want to go supernova. They'll do everything that they possibly can to avoid going supernova, because it takes so much energy out of them that they get sick. And sometimes it takes a long time to recuperate from that. So they will do everything, to include leave, to try to avoid going supernova. And these are the greater, I mean, the super empaths that are well developed, very fine tuned. They understand who they are. They may not have the terminology like empath, but they know what they can and cannot do, and they will avoid super empath. They will leave before they go super empath. Time? Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let me just say this before I get off. I have a conference that is coming up on July 31st. I will be in Dallas, Texas. I almost said Dallas, Washington. I'll be in Dallas, Texas. I will be there on the 30th and 31st. So the 30th, that evening of the 30th, there'll be a meet and greet. And so I will be contacting the hotel down in the bar area. I'm not a drinker, but the bar has food down there. And so I will have my host, Miss Kelly Ham. I have Miss Just Be Real is Charcetta. I have Miss Tierra Carpenter. I have Mr. and Mrs. Jeremy and Connie Jones. My daughter is going to be there, which is Miss Mercedes Bryant. And you will have my host. Some of them, I believe, will be there on Friday. And they will meet you down in the bar area. And we're going to make sure that you are sitting in an area, so when I come, I can be with you for the meet and greet. And they're going to take care of you, that I'm going to come so that I can meet you guys for the meet and greet. The next day, which is July 31st, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can be there in person, or you can be online. I do have registration link, which they were putting up, and it will be underneath this video, where you can go and register for the conference. It's $280 general fee, $300 for VIP. Now, both of them include the whole 8 to 6 p.m. And then we have a working lunch. You will be provided with a Greek buffet. You will have myself as a speaker. I'm going to be talking from 8 to 12. Then a friend of mine, who is Miss Bridget Griffin, she will be speaking from 12:30 to 1 o'clock. She is a domestic violence legal advocate. She's going to be talking to you guys about mistakes you make in the courtroom. What to say, what not to say, how to find lawyers, and how to find lawyers, how to vet lawyers, the questions to ask, what not to say in the courtroom. She's going to talk to you about parental alienation. You're going to have Mr. Marcus Monroe. If you guys saw Friday, I did an interview with him. He's phenomenal. And the information that he was given, I didn't realize he was part of the group that we're talking about, that high value man. But he came out of it, and he came out of it intact, and he came out with his character. But he's going to talk to you guys, and most of the people that have registered are all females, all women. And so he's really going to be, he has a heart for women. He has a heart for hurting women. And he's going to be talking as a man. He's going to be talking to you guys about these new groups that are coming out and what their agenda is and how they're pulling on you guys, so that you guys can be careful and safeguard yourself. Then you're going to have my big sister, Kathy Gibson. She's a phenomenal woman. Her platform is called My Life is Intentional. And she's really, her heart is really to help teach people about their value, relationships, and your value as a woman. She's phenomenal. She's a phenomenal woman. I really admire her. And then, of course, Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, is going to close the conference out. And they are phenomenal speakers. We're going to be getting to the root of some issues. I want you guys to bring some tissues. You got to have some notebooks. So we're going to make sure we got some notebooks out there and pencils out there for you guys. I got some in the closet. I got to pull them out, and I got to send them to Texas. So each one of you have a notebook with some paper in it, so that you guys can take some notes, because you really, I'm really going to get to the root of some issues. We're going to talk about some childhood issues. We're going to talk about parenting styles, and then your attachment style and love languages. We're also going to talk about, this is the thing that I say all the time. You know, when you have a different language, you speak a different language like Greek or Spanish or Latin, or, you know, whatever language that you speak, you know, you have to understand people call African, you know, or you have people in the UK that have a different culture than the people that are in Canada. You know, each one of us have their India, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, their different languages and their different cultures. And in order, you know, it's respectful when you go to another person's culture, that you understand their culture, what to do and what not to do. When I was stationed in Korea, you don't call a cab like this. You call a cab like this. Doing this right here is calling a dog. Doing this right here is calling a cab. And that's very disrespectful when you do this. So you do this. You know, to chew with your mouth open is to show all right. To do all right, we don't say any names on here. Do not say any names on here. I don't like that. Please don't do that. When you say names, you're kind of putting me in a position. Hold on a minute. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, don't do that. Do not come on here and say names like that, because you're putting me in a position when you're putting me just out there like that. So hold on. All right. So anyway, let's see here. Okay. My apologies, you guys. Yeah, don't come on. I do not use names. I do not use names of people. Don't say people's names. Do not say bloggers' names. Don't do that, because it makes it look like that I'm purposely trying to gain momentum on my platform by using other people's names, and I'm not going to do that. Okay. But anyway, thank you. Oh, you caught it? Good. But you got to understand, you know, just like those of you that are Latinas and Latinos, you know, you have a different culture. You also have a different language, and it's respectful for me to get to know you and you get to know me, that we know each other's culture and that we know each other's language. There's certain pitches in your voice. There's certain ways that you say things. Like in Korea, there's a very high regard and respect for the elders, you know, and so, you know, the elders kind of have their way. Just like in a lot of Native American cultures, you don't look them directly in the eye and you don't grip their hand real hard. Like here in the Puyallup tribe, you don't grip their hand real hard. That's a sign of aggression. To stare in somebody's eyes, that's a sign of aggression. So the purpose of me telling you that is that in order to understand what you're dealing with is to understand the culture and the language of the narcissist. And a lot of things that I'll be talking about is also about manipulation. What is the manipulations telling you? What is it saying? So where I'm going to decipher, I'm going to decode the language. I'm going to decode the behavior. And as you guys get to understand that, you know, as you guys get to understand that, even if the person is not a narcissist, you can still protect yourself because you'll recognize the behavior in other people. Some people have narcissistic traits and are toxic, but not everybody has narcissistic personality disorder. And so, but to understand that language and the culture of the narcissist will help you defend and protect yourself. So you stop continuously getting into these relationships. And that's the question that I'm going to answer. How do I keep getting into these relationships? So do you understand, that you really got to be there. And so, like I said, for individual, it's $280 for general admissions, it's $300 for VIP. Both of them, VIP and general admissions, is 8 to 6 p.m. and then you will be served a Greek buffet. For those that are VIP, you will also at 7 o'clock, after the conference at 7 o'clock, you will be picked up by limousine and transported to a restaurant of my choosing. We'll choose a restaurant. I like steak and I like seafood. I love seafood. But we're going to pick a restaurant. Now, you have to pay for your own food. I ain't going to pay for the food, but you're going to pay for your own food when you get to the restaurant. But you will be escorted via limousine to the restaurant with me. So you guys get to hang out with me. You will be my VIP, my special guest to hang out with me. You guys get to know me a little bit one-on-one. If you're online, the fees are $200. Now, this is the deal that I'm also putting out. If you bring 5 people, for that person that is the sponsor that brings 5 people and you're person number 6, you yourself will get in free. But the other 5 will only pay $140. If you are a group of 10 people and you, the sponsor, are number 11, then it's $120 for each of your guests. And then you, the sponsor, will be free. If you're a group of 20 people and you are the sponsor, you're number 21, then each of your individual person will pay $100. So for 20 people, that's $2,000. For 10 people, it is I can't recall how much that is. $120. I mean, $1,200. I think it's $1,200. And for a group of 5 is $700. And so for those of you who are the sponsors, and you're wanting to, and then VIP, I have the on VIP, I do have group ratings on there as well. I can't recall the amount for the group for the groups for VIP. But if you are the sponsor, you have them pay you the money, and then you go up and you pay for it on the link. And then what I'll do is for those of you general admissions and online, I will have my hosts contact you so we can get all the names and put the names on the guest list, to include the names on the guest list online, because we need someone to check you in online. This is only for you. You can't add extra people on there. So we're going to make sure that we have the guest names so that we can make sure we send the links out on the day of Zoom. And we want to make sure that you don't have any problems, because if you're having any problems, then what we'll do is I'm also going to have a private Facebook page for conferences only. So if you're having problems with Zoom on that day, we'll put you on the Facebook page so that you can be on the Facebook page to watch the live conference. But this is a private Facebook page only for those that have paid that will be admitted in there if you're not on the Zoom. So those of you, just go check and make sure you register. I'm going to cut off registration maybe like 1.5 to 2 weeks prior to the conference, because the limousine, I need a head count for the limousines. I need a head count for the food and a head count for the space that we're in. A lot of you guys are online. So those of you that are coming, don't be surprised, but we're going to have people. We're going to have people. Don't even worry about it. But a lot of you guys are online because a lot of you can't travel. And that's understandable. But you guys need to register. Don't wait till the last minute, because I need the head count. So that we can also have people that are trying to do something special for you and make sure that you guys get gifts. Want to make sure that you guys are taken care of and that you guys get some gifts from me. So make sure you register, okay? Well, I appreciate you guys being here. All the information is going to be right up underneath. All my information is going to be right up underneath the video. So look right up underneath the video. Just give me a minute to come off of Clubhouse. Usually I post all the information under there after I come off of Clubhouse. So right after Clubhouse, I'm going to, let's see. So right off the Clubhouse, I will post all that information underneath the video, okay? So you guys will have the information to register. You guys get the people coming in. You never know who needs this information. I'm telling you guys, I promise you guys, when you come to this conference, bring your tissue, because there's going to be some healing. You guys are going to have some understanding. You're going to have an aha moment. Those of you that want coaching, you are welcome to contact me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. Dr. Carmen Bryant at outlook.com, and I will provide you with fees for services. Those of you that want counseling, I cannot provide you with counseling outside of the state of Washington. I say that, but people still ask me how, if I accept certain insurances. If you're outside the state of Washington, I cannot provide you with counseling. But if you're inside the state of Washington, I can. But you have to remember, I have so many people asking that my slots fill up very quickly. And so if you want counseling, some of you guys need counseling before you get coaching. Some of you guys need to go to a counselor, and you guys need to make sure that you get some emotional baggage off of you. You're dealing with PTSD, complex PTSD, and you ask that, go to betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen, and they will give you a 10% discount for using that link. And then you can actually ask and vet. If you're having financial issues, let them know, because they will provide you with a grant to assist you, so that they'll cut down the pay. You're not gonna get it for free, but it'll cut down payments. And you can ask them questions. Do you understand PTSD? Do you understand domestic violence and psychological abuse and the long-term effects of that? Give them some information. Talk to them. Most therapists can work when you give them information like that. They know what you're talking about. But as soon as you say narcissist abuse, sometimes it doesn't register. Like, what are you talking about? It took me a minute to learn that there was a whole language and culture that went with it. So give them the symptoms, give them the behaviors, and that's how you find the counselors. BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen, and give them that, click on that and use that link for a discounted rate. So I'm going to switch over to Clubhouse to my guests over here for a few minutes. I'm not going to stay on long so I can get off. But I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys. Those of you that are coming to the conference, I'm so looking forward to seeing the faces behind the names on here. I'm so looking to some of you guys have nicknames. Some of you guys have pictures that are too small for me to see. But I'm so looking forward to meeting you guys in person, shaking your hand, giving you guys a hug, taking pictures. I am so excited, and I truly appreciate it. Those that have already registered, some of you, we've already sent out emails. Hopefully you got those emails to my VIP. I have already contacted you once. A lot of you guys were already a lot of you were at work, and I left a message, but I will be calling you guys, and I will be sending you the more information about the conference and what we're going to do, so I can talk to you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. Trust me, I appreciate you guys. And next year, I'll be coming to Atlanta with this program. And so if you miss me in Dallas, which I hope you don't, because every time you go somewhere else, even though you may take the program with you, it's going to sound different because the audience is different. And so I'm hoping to keep a lot of those speakers on the platforms, to take with me when I go. But I really want you guys to join me in Dallas. This is the first one because 2 years ago, I wasn't able to do it because things started happening, schedules changing, then the pandemic hit. So I was supposed to do this about 2 years ago and last year. So now we're starting this journey off. And so next year I'm going to be in Atlanta. So my goal is to make it out to Atlanta. So I appreciate you. I'm coming. Just give me a minute. I'm coming, honey. Right now I have one, because a lot of times when I do registration, it depends on the registration in order for me to go ahead and book everything that I need. So I can put up, when it's time, I can put up, and what I'm going to do also, I'm going to, after this conference is over in July, what do you guys say? What is enough time for you guys to register for a conference? Same pricing, no different in the pricing, but what do you guys think is a good time frame for me to open up registration to give you guys enough time to pay ahead and plan ahead? Would you say maybe if I open up registration, maybe because if we do it, this time frame seems to be pretty good. July 31st seems to be a pretty good time frame. So if I do July 31st or 30, whatever day it falls on that Saturday, would you guys like me to start it off 6 months in advance? Or would you guys like me to start it off maybe we start off, because November and December is the holidays. So that's not good because you guys are spending money on the holidays. But if I started in January, so it's January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So 7 months ahead of time. If I started in January, would that be a good time? Or would you guys like me to start it maybe this year in August? After we finish the first conference, should I start it off in August? What do you guys think? 2 months is too short of a period of time. 2 months, because a lot of times people want to get them stuff. 2 months, a lot of times people are trying to get their stuff ready. I'll go ahead and buy the tickets, then I'm going to save money up for the airline, then I'm going to save the money up for the hotel. Then, And so usually if I start off the registration, remember I have to book the hotel room for myself. So I usually have to go and book the hotel so I can go ahead and get the conference room. But, you know, 2 months is a short period of time, though. 2 months is 7. So 7 months is good. So if I start the registration off in January, that'll be good for you guys. 7 months in advance. That'll give everybody time enough to get their money together to register for next year's conference, right? So if I do 6 to 7 months, okay, so 6 to 7 months is pretty good. So I can open it up around in January timeframe. Oh, I didn't mean to block. I didn't mean to block Arlene. Did I block Arlene? I blocked the wrong person. Please just be real. Unblock Arlene. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I was blocking somebody else. And so I did not mean to block her. So I apologize. Please unblock Arlene. Are you able to unblock Arlene? Please unblock Arlene. I didn't mean to do that. Are you able to unblock her? I did not mean to do that. So 6, 7 months is pretty good. So 6, 7 months is good. So what I'll do is I'll 6, 7 months, I open up registration probably in January timeframe. Stevie said he knows what it feels like because Stevie was blocked at one time too. Yeah. Go back and look for Arlene and make sure that you unblock her. Let me know if you have any problems so I can go find her myself. Because I did not mean to do that. Let me scroll up and see where I did that at. I did not mean to do that. Let me find. Yep, now we got to go find Arlene. We had to go find Stevie last time. Now we got to go find Arlene. Oh, Lord. So 6, 7 months sounds like it's pretty good. And that's what we would do. Okay. You guys give me just a minute. I'm coming, Clubhouse. Let me go. Oh, Lord, I done blocked Arlene. Oh, Lord of mercy. No, I was blocking somebody else. I see where it's at. And I don't know how to unblock her on here. Give me just a moment. Give me a minute. Oh, boy, I did not mean to do that. I am sorry, Arlene. I don't know where she's at. Oh, boy. Oh, she's in there? Okay. Woo! Okay, hold on. Okay, Arlene, what I'll have to do is, because I can't make you a moderator again right now, because what happened was, hold on. See, they went, yeah, I can see you. So Arlene, what happened is I'm on Restream, and Restream is connected to all my platforms at one time. So I'm not able to go in on Restream and make you a moderator again. So what I have to do is when I turn everything off and I turn Clubhouse off, I have to go back into YouTube and find your name on the live and make you a moderator again. Oh, no problem. Just be real. But you have to give me a minute when I go back off, and when I cut the other channels off and I come off of Clubhouse, I'll go back onto the live stream and I'll make you a moderator again. So just give me a minute. Oh, no worries. No worries. Just be real. I appreciate you because I didn't mean to click you, Arlene. I was clicking on somebody else, and I guess it must have slipped down and hit you by accident, and I'm so sorry. Stevie said he knows what it feels like. Everybody had to go out there and look for him too. So you guys, I'm going to go off. I'm going to go on to Clubhouse. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for all your support, and thank God Arlene is back. She's back on track. So she's back. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I want you guys to go and be great. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for your support, and I'm so looking forward to meeting so many of you guys. Don't wait till the last minute to register, because I want to make sure you guys are taken care of, and I want to make sure my VIP is taken care of, and I want to make sure that we get to eat. We likes to eat, okay? So I appreciate all of you. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. So I'm going to end it, all right? Talk to you guys later.